Hello, can you hear me? I'm back again. All right, check it out. I wanted to try something different. Like I said, I'm still working on my little get down, trying to get it, you know what I'm saying, to where I'm comfortable. You know what I mean? So I try something different. Usually, I just sit here and give you something, you know what I'm saying, raw off the top of my head. And I be getting distracted. I be getting, you know what I'm saying, I lose, you know what I'm saying, lose my train of thought, get caught up on something else, and so this is gonna help me to keep me in better. So I wrote something down. I want y'all to check it out. I'm gonna be reading from it, so don't look at me funny. Oh, you reading? Yeah, I'm reading. I can write. Check me out though. So my first time walking onto a level 4 yard. Scared, of course, but I knew I was coming and I thought I knew what to expect. I expected to die, but not without a fight. I think when you accept that death is inevitable, most of the fear of it is taken away. Uh, I figured I would eventually get caught up. The white boy's gonna get me eventually. I got to do all these years, but until then, I'm fighting all the way. But I kind of figured it was inevitable. That's the way I had it. You know. So, but growing up, I always heard that don't go to prison, boy. You go to prison, them white boys gonna get you. So I figured, eventually they gonna get me because it's not just the inmates. Yeah, it's some of the staff too. I was told by my homeboys, if you ever go to Susanville, as soon as you get off the bus, take off and keep taking off until they get you up out of there. Because the whites run the prison, you know what I'm saying? The white inmates got a lot of, juice because of the staff. Agree with their politics or their, racial beliefs or whatever it is. And it was crazy because I don't know, I was hated because I was considered a race traitor. So I was a race trader. But the white boys, you know what I'm saying, would trip on me, but wouldn't trip on a white boy from the south side. Weddle, Casper. But you know what I'm saying, I kind of understood, but you know, I used to, I used to be kind of jealous. Like, hey, how come, you know what I'm saying, I get all the attention. They don't. uh, so was I lucky? Nah, I don't believe in luck. I believe you make your own luck. You know, if you don't put yourself in a position, you can never receive what you want. The system got us blind, lost, and confused. That's how they stay in control. So now it's time. How's it going down? I hit the D yard in Lancaster. As soon as I get there, I tell them I'm a CRIP. This pisses the cops off. They weren't happy because they knew it was gonna be some bullshit. They work here. They know the game. So they take me into the sergeant's office, and when the sergeant comes in, he just walked in, and the way he looked at me was like, I don't know, like I had shit on me. And he looks at me and he looks at me in my eyes and he asks, "You're what? You're a what?" And I'm a neighborhood crib. So I told him I'm a crib. Then he asked me who I sell up with. Crips, blacks, you know what I mean? You know, whoever. You put me in the cell with anybody. You put me in the cell with a white boy, the door is going to be the bell. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean by that? If you put me in the cell with a white boy, once the door is closed, it's going down. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna stay in the cell with you. I'm not gonna be in here sleeping and hunky dory. Everything is good, and then the other one's gonna manipulate you and pressure you to do something to me while I'm sleeping, or I got my back turned, or you know what I mean. You know that ain't going down. So to eliminate that whole possibility, you're not gonna be in the cell with me. You are my mortal enemies right now. You guys are trying to kill me. I've been stabbed. I've been, you know what I mean? You know, I've been, let's say this. White Crips did not have fun in prison. Now you make the best, and don't get me wrong, I got people that tell me some of the best times they spent in prison were times with me in, you know what I'm saying, one place or another. I'm always trying to make the best of my bad situation. I grew up in a bad situation, so that's all I had. That's what I had to do. You know what? My situation ain't bad no more. SnowRoc's situation is okay. SnowRoc is blessed by the best and praying for the rest. Man, look, y'all don't even get it. Y'all don't know. Man, it's I don't know. It's been a rough road. It's been a rough road to get where I am now. But now I'm here. You know what? My transmission is fucked up. It don't even go on reverse. So ain't no going back for me. You know what I mean? Anybody that knows SnowRoc now, that knows SnowRoc's all legit. If you all legit, then we can, you know what I'm saying, you know, we can hook up, we can do something. SnowRoc go to work, SnowRoc go home, SnowRoc take care of his family. That's my priority, my family. Anybody mess with that? Then we got a problem. Just don't mess with that. Anyway, so okay, so the cops, he wasn't liking me, the sergeant. He just, I don't know, he, big old white boy. I mean, you know, so he looks at me. And that's the thing. I can't like, you know what I'm saying, you know, ride the fence. Oh, I'm Italian or I'm this or I'm that. Blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, pale and a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I say I'm just real light skinned. That's been a joke I've been using since I was a kid. And he'd be like, oh, Joey, yeah, I'm just real light skinned. You know, but it's a joke, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? You know, people like, oh, I don't like being called a white crip or, you know what I'm saying? You know, this, man. Man, look, I don't give a fuck what you call me. Don't call me late for dinner. Nah, but you know what I'm saying? The little BS, it's so small. We just, you know what I'm saying? You know, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it pushing. So now, where we at? Okay. So then he has okay, people who do not know about custody levels. In prison, there's custody levels such as, um, say, it starts out at level one. Level one is a minimum security. This is outside of the perimeter fence. The perimeter fence, you're inside. That's a higher level. But if you're a minimum security, you're on the outside of that fence. You're going out fire camp. You're, you know, going out in the community doing stuff. You're, you know what I'm saying, you know, minimum security. If you're level two, it's still minimum security, but you're inside that fence now. And now that you're inside that fence, you know, you have the prison, you know what I'm saying, you know, the yard and everything, and you have to get around. But instead of being in a cell, you're in a dorm environment. So it got a certain amount of guys in a dorm, and they pack them in. I'm talking about overpack them. Yeah, I was there. It was overcrowded, and they were overpacking the mess out of the place. And so that's level two. And then level three is cell living. That's with two people in a cell, for the most part. And that's, that's Thunderdome. You know what I mean? You up in that cell, that's it's just you and your cellie. So if y'all get into it, y'all have an issue, then y'all deal with it. You know what I mean? Like men. And after you deal with it, then that shit is over with. So some people had issues and cellies didn't walk out of the cell. That's the way it was in there, you know. So so we moving on. So that's level three. And then level three is maximum security, but it's the lowest maximum security level. Then you get to level four. Level four isn't the highest level. Level four is just the higher level. Level four, just about everybody on the yard has life. Not everybody, but most of the people have life, or most of the people have gotten in so much trouble that their points have went up to a level that they they're a bad actor. They don't know how to act right. Okay, we got to put them over here. Because every year your points will go down if you haven't gotten any trouble, if you haven't got any write-ups, if you haven't got any like tickets, or a write-up is like a ticket. On the streets you have cops that'll pull you over, and if you have a tail light out you get a ticket, or you were speeding you get a ticket. In prison you had the same thing. Police come into your cell and search, and they find some wine, you get a ticket. But some cops don't want to do paperwork. They just there to do their job and go home. Those are the cool ones. You know what I mean? And I done met a few of them. There's a lot of assholes, but it's a couple cool ones, and they just, they just there to do their job, so they take care of their family. And I respect that. I ain't got, man, I ain't got no problem with that. Do your thing, whatever you got to do. And so level four is ugly because, most people got life. You know what I mean? How you gonna tell somebody with life? You know what I mean? What you gonna tell them? So I didn't even say nothing about my time. I was quiet to the motherfucker. I got 9 years. My 9 years got jacked up. They added 5 more years on, and I didn't complain. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't. It's motherfucker. It's people in prison who have nothing to do, and I'm talking about literally. They set traps, and they just hope somebody, wanders in, some, fly wanders into their web. Excuse me. But that's the thing, you got to do whatever you got to do to survive. It's up to you. You know, when you get up in there, I used to say, prison is like a swimming pool full of sharks. Every now and then, they throw in a tuna. You don't want to be the tuna on feeding day. I became a great white. I'm a survivor. So, you know, at that time where I was at mentally, I wasn't planning on surviving. I was just planning on leaving a name that you don't remember. Because at one time, that's all I cared about was a name and a reputation. Nothing else. No one else. Just a name and a reputation. Only to find out that, oh yeah, I got a name and a reputation now. It ain't worth nothing. Ain't no retirement plan with that. Ain't no pension. Ain't nothing. So basically, that's level 4, and then level 5 is death row. Yeah, so you get to that, you're done. But they got people, on level 4 yards with life without. One of my cellies had 2 life sentences and then 42 years. Damn, you gotta die 2 times and then come back and give them 42 more. California's a cold piece. But, I don't know. Whatever, the issue was. So the levels, custody. So now, I'm on D yard, and it's level 4. I had one of my homeboys, my big homies, was on the yard, and I hit the little reception. So I'm on CTQ and the little, you know what I'm saying, confined to quarters until you get classified and they figure out what they're gonna do with you. I'm a special case. What you gonna do with me? So I don't know what's going down. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying, I'm nervous. You know what I mean? But I'm here. And I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm here for the duration. So if you come, you better be ready. And it was it was first the homie sent a package and slid, hey man, you know what I'm saying, this from your homeboy. Ooh, oh man, good looking out. So I got the package, some basic necessities, you know what I mean, soap, deodorant, toothpaste, all the little, you know what I'm saying, some coffee, cup of soups, some goodies, some basic necessities. So I was good looking out, you know what I mean? Because I ain't got nothing. I ain't been able to go to the store, you know what I mean? I just came from reception. So, you know what I mean? I'm up here like, okay, they going to get my property or something. I'm waiting and waiting on that. And they said that's going to take like a week and a half. So the homie looked out for me with some what I needed. And so then the next day he came by the cell. Hey, SnowRoc. Ooh, so they jump up. Hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Hey, ooh, hey, check this out when you come out. I got a burner for you. A burner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I got you some heat. Oh, okay, good looking out. Okay, because this is the way it is. He's letting me know, you know what I mean? When I come out, he give me a knife. A knife is burner. You know what I mean? A shank. He's going to give me a shank when I come out so that if anything happens, I can defend myself to the best of my ability. And you know what I'm saying? That's love. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because he's taking penitentiary chances, catching time. You know what I mean? To give me something that's illegal, so that I can defend myself and you know what I'm saying. Be there. But at the same time, this is my big homie. I mean, he gonna be there. He the big homie. Real ones recognize real ones. You know what I mean? And he was a real one. So you know what I mean? I'm contemplating all this, you know what I mean? Okay, as soon as I get outside, you know what I mean? He gonna give me a knife, you know what I mean? Damn. So if I get caught with a knife, I get extra time. So is that worth it? Because the way we live is better caught with it than without it. Because if I get caught with it, then I have a knife and someone's trying to take my life. So I can defend myself better with a knife. But if I don't have it, then I can't defend myself and then I lose my life. So am I gonna put my life on the line, give my life up, or get some extra time and carry this knife around? I'm gonna carry the knife around. So, you know what I mean, all of this is going on in my head. I'm thinking about what's next, extra time, and what am I gonna do? And do I want a knife? And I'm not a knife fighter. You know what I mean? I grew up fighting. I grew up, you know what I mean, right here. And it's, you know what I mean, look, I remember who banging as, you know what I mean, me, Skeeter Rabbit, Glenny, Willie, and you know what I'm saying, a couple other people jumping in a raggedy ass Chevy Love truck, riding over the 4-5 Park, jumping out on whoever was there, and just whooping on whoever we caught. But now the other ones are gonna be coming out once they see what's going on. And we getting chased the fuck up out of there. And the homie raggedy little truck, one time that motherfucker cut off. We had to push and pop start that motherfucker and then hop in and barely got up out of there. Cause you know what I'm saying, the people that was at the basketball courts started coming, you know what I'm saying, where we was over in the, you know what I'm saying, the corner of the parking lot, boo bopping some motherfuckers, they came over. Yeah, we was out of there. But that was who banging. That was, I mean, I don't know. It's a trip. When you get older, you start to see shit you was doing. Wasn't really the shit you should have been doing. Because the people we thought were the enemy, we were made to believe that our own people were our enemy. When you realize that, how do you just continue on? I can't. That's why I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to holler at y'all. What y'all think about it? Let me know in the comments. So now, all of this is on hold because I am waiting to be classified by the administration. Then they will decide what to do with me. I'm in the cell with an other. He's a Native American until we get classified. A couple of days go by and I go to classification. It's brought up immediately that Mr. Patuka is a CRIP, a white CRIP. And I've always found that funny because, you know what I'm saying, when I come in, people look at me and blonde hair, blue eyes, ain't no, you know what I'm saying, ain't much color in my skin. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I always joked about I was real light skinned, But I know damn well I'm white. My mama's white, my daddy's white. Now I believe everybody, you know what I'm saying, came from the motherland and all that. So I don't believe nobody's pure anything. I'm pure white. Well, I'm pure black. I don't believe nobody's pure anything. Man been on this planet for thousands of years. Man been fucking for thousands of years. So uh, man is not very discriminative. So, you know what I mean? I don't think, you know what I'm saying, different races matter. But so races have been mixing for since the beginning of time. No one's pure. What race are you? I'll tell you what race I am. I'm part of the human race. I'm just out here living, trying to do mine. Now, huh. So now, so many eyes are raised by in my direction, but there was a little color. I believe the program administrator was black. So I thought I had a little juice. Now I am as pale face as you can get. I have blonde hair, blue eyes, so no trying to ride the fence. I explained to the administration, I don't want any problems, but I'm not going to run from any either. I know the rules. I have to do my time, and I do it wherever you put me. So, at the time, the C yard was the only other level 4 yard. The D yard and the C yard were level 4. The A yard and the B yard was level 3. And this was in the early 90s when I got there. So, so C yard was known as the active yard. And at the time they classified me, I didn't understand, you know, I guess they took my statement that I'm gonna go wherever you put me, and so they figured they were gonna put me on, you know what I'm saying, the active yard and see how I handle myself. I didn't know this, you know what I mean? I get to the yard and okay, it is what it is. But I get to the yard and it's a couple homies there, you know what I mean? The homies know me, you know what I mean? So I hit the line and it's like, man, look, if you got that motherfuckers want it, you know what I mean? We ain't turning down no phase. We ain't turning down nothing. You know what I mean? But if one go, we all go. And that's the way it was told to me. One go, we all go. So, you know what I mean? I'm good. I'm good. But look here, you know what I'm saying? You go let them know anybody, go get this shit, go get anybody you want one on one and line their ass up. You know what I mean? That way don't nobody else have to be involved. If you want everybody else involved, then that can happen. You know what I mean? We can go there. But you know what I mean, to avoid all that, send your best. You know what I mean? So did nobody want it? Did nobody want to step up? I'm not a little guy, but you know what I mean. At the time they still had the weights. I was a young man then. You know what I mean. I'm an old man now, but you know what I'm saying. I was a young hog. You know what I mean. With some really large testicles. So you know what I mean. I was. You know what I'm saying. I wasn't coming there with my tail between my legs. I'm walking with my head up, and you know what I'm saying. Ready to go. So, that went on. And, but when I got there, the homies, you know what I'm saying, told me, you know what I'm saying, look, as long as this, you know what I mean, as long as if they want to fade, I got this. I got this. So, they moved me in the cell with my big homie Elo. He had, you know what I'm saying, he had a life sentence. So I was up in there with him, and he was, you know what I'm saying, giving me game and lacing me up. And I love him because, you know what I'm saying, there was a situation where the advice he gave me helped me, you know what I'm saying, to survive the altercation that came, was inevitable. But that's the thing, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people think just being inside, being incarcerated is all about just being inside. Nah, the prison politics in there are so fucked up. It's so many, basically, violence rules, you know. So if you're more violent, then, you know, you can run some shit, you know. It's not a place I want to be. And that's the thing, the prisons is changing. It's not the way it was anymore. When I first came to prison, it was changing from one thing to another because the convicts were still in charge when I first came to prison. When I first came to prison, you hit the reception yard and inmates got your paperwork. So then everybody knows if you a rat, if you are, you know what I'm saying, if you're good, if you're whatever you are, everybody knows this. So ain't no hiding. You know what I mean? And a lot of people now hide because the administration covers them up. And so the day after classification, they rolled me up, sent me over to the D yard. As soon as I got there, it was an issue. One thing led to another, and that's when the big homie on the yard, he was like, huh, fuck that. We finna go over here and holler at these motherfuckers right now. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Can I get something? So it's like, here, you know what I mean? So he gives me a burner. And we go over, you know what I'm saying, to the white boys, you know what I'm saying, the Dago white boys. This is the San Diego white boys. And he knows the dude, you know what I mean, and gets at him like, hey man, check this out. You guys got a problem? You know what I mean? If you guys got a problem, we need to, you know what I'm saying, deal with this. Ah man, you know what I'm saying, we ain't tripping. So, it was all good. Time went on. I was on that yard for, you know what I'm saying, like maybe, I don't know, maybe about a month and a half before I got into it. And when I got into it, it was with a Nazi lowrider. And they was at the time, early '90s, mid '90s, they was trying to make a name for themselves. They was trying to be, you know what I'm saying, be those guys. And you know, a lot of people, a lot of people didn't understand all the politics that were going on when all this was going on because, like, I pay attention. I pay attention to things, and it was things that helped me to survive because the one group of whites didn't like the other group of whites. So the Nazi lowriders and the skinheads didn't get along. So while I was, you know what I'm saying, getting into it with the Nazi lowriders, oh, I was making them look bad. I was making them look bad because I've been fighting all my life. So, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm not all that, but you know what I mean? I know how to, you know what I'm saying? So I know how to survive. Let's say that I'm still here. So, it was, it was because they were like kind of sitting back and laughing at them for their follies that I was able to survive, because if they all would have came together, then they could have, you know what I'm saying, got the job done in reality. So, I think about these things, you know what I'm saying, and I knew what was going on at the time. And, you know what I'm saying, hey, I survived. That's all that mattered, you know. Because it's some people that went up in there, that went to prison. Went up, white boys that went up in there cripping. And, you know what I'm saying, didn't come home, came home in a bag, or went in the ground in a bag. Because if don't nobody pick you up, they got a boot heel for you somewhere. Now they probably just burn you. Hey, whoa, we've been going and going. All right, so that was my first time ever on a level 4 yard, and I was sentenced to 9 years. Out of 9 years, I had to do 80% of that. The sad thing was, I ended up doing 12 years altogether, 7 months, and then I finally came home. But that's another story. Stay tuned.